The foundation is called Twin Oceans Research Foundation. We put this foundation together here in Panama about saving the sharks, definitely saving sharks, but sort of dedicated to the scalloped. It's called the Eastern Pacific Scalloped Hammerhead that migrates through Panama from Galapagos down to Panama, gives birth in the areas of Panama, which is up to Punta Chame, Fariñón, all the way up to the Gulf of Chiriquí. In the mangrove areas is where they give their birth. And imagine they come all this way from Galapagos to give birth in Panama. And then after giving birth, they move up to Cocos, and they'll stay in Cocos Islands off Costa Rica before returning back to the Galapagos. In Galapagos, you have a lot of protections for these sharks. In the Cocos Island, you have a lot of protections for these sharks. And in Malpelo, which is off of Colombia, Panama, right on the coast of Panama, Colombia, the protection of these sharks. And these are an extinct, endangered species, very endangered species. And the people that live in Panama, they definitely know that they've been in the market areas, and they've seen thousands and thousands of these baby hammerheads being slaughtered in the markets. They've probably been in the beaches up in the interior where they see a lot of heads floating around on the beach and say, wow, what happened here? And this is the reason, is that during the spawning season, they kill these small hammerheads by the thousands, and an average up to 6,000 a day. You can imagine during the spawning season, there's just so many being caught. And also killing the adult sharks as well, being caught through long lines and also nets. And they're chopped up as well. You have pictures of boats coming in to Fariñón in that area full of this laying over with bigger hammerheads, and their fins being chopped off and being sold as fins and so forth. But anyway, to get back to that, you can go on my foundation, you can read the blogs, you can read all the things about it now on the website. And so the idea of us, we said, well, Panama is not protected. So I've been trying with the government the last few years, trying to get a ban on fishing these sharks in an area. And then they come up with an idea of, okay, we'll say you can't fish hammerhead shark, or you can't do this, but you can still fish sharks. Well, they start fishing sharks, and then the sharks that are caught, if there's an inspector around or whatever, they're thrown back, but they're dead anyway, they're damaged. So it doesn't work to take one species out of a group of sharks, because other sharks die because of that. Okay? And even if they abide by it, if they don't, because normally they cut off the heads, the fins, leave the body, so they're not recognizable. Anyway, when they get to the market, they're just a trunk of a long shark, So the idea now is with this foundation is the tracking and tagging of these species, the migrating, the adults. And we're tracking them by satellite and acoustic tags. This way, we can get the satellite tagging, we get real time for over a year of where their movements are. And the acoustic tags, we also get over years, but only when they pass by an area where we have repeaters. So with all this data that we're putting together, which probably take us 2 years to put everything together we need to get all the information on the mapping scale from the software, is to turn to the government and say, okay, guys, here is the proof. Now we have the proof you asked for. Here's the data. Look at this map. This is the migrating area through Panama to the Bay of Panama, going up, back and forth, back and forth. And this is the migrating pattern. So we have several sharks from the Galapagos to Panama that we're tracking as well. So there's the whole line. So with this data, the government cannot say, oh, you're right, but we're not going to stop it. Then that's, but at least put a non-fishing zone for these areas for at least 2 years, minimum 2 years. And the fishing areas where the birthing areas is a non-fishing during the spawning season. So data will make a lot of change, and this is what we're after. That's the only thing that we can do for now, and this is what Twin Ocean Research has set up to do. So we're catching that gap in Panama where Panama actually dropped the ball.